out for the remainder of the 2025 season, something we all think we knew was coming after what Stephanie White said earlier today. We couldn't be too sure until we see it for ourselves. And with this announcement from the GOAT's mouth herself, Caitlin Clark won't be returning.
Caitlin Clark just announced she's stepping away from the entire 2025 season, and the internet is going wild. With just one comment, fans are split. Some are crying, some are angry, and others are making wild theories about Gatorade and astrology. This isn't a headline you can just scroll past. It's the kind that stops you, shocks you, and makes you realize everything has changed.
At this point, but still incredibly disappointing, Caitlin Clark officially done for the 2025 WNBA season, as she and the Fever announced on social media. The Fever and Clark saying that she tried to get back on the floor. It appears that she just ran out of time, not able to get enough confidence back in her body as the season wraps up and the playoffs are likely about to begin for Indiana. I mean, it's a gut punch that basically encompasses an entire season.
The girl who filled every arena and got casual fans hooked on women's basketball is now stuck on the sidelines, and it feels like one of the biggest what-ifs in recent memory. And let's be real, people are already whispering, is this the end? Could one injury erase all the hype, the records, the ESPN highlights, and turn her into just a one-season wonder?
I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. I spent hours in the gym every day with the singular goal of getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I am feeling. I want to thank everyone who had my back through all the uncertainty. This has been incredibly frustrating, but even in the bad, there is good. The way the fans continue to show up for me, and for the Fever, brought me so much joy and important perspective. I am so proud of how this team has only gotten stronger through adversity this year. Now it's time to close out the season and claim our spot in the...
Let's be honest, the sports world forgets fast. One moment you're the golden star of basketball, and the next, people barely mention your name while they talk about the next rookie of 2026. Caitlin Clark had one incredible season, one that looked like the start of a legendary career. But now, she's stuck dealing with medical reports that have even her most loyal fans searching for stories of athletes who never recovered from injuries. It's tough.
I've lost so many players to injury, but obviously none bigger than Clark. And there was such a wait for this second season after her magnificent rookie season. And then, the anticipation of her possibly coming back, only for that not to happen, takes a lot of air out of the room, obviously takes a lot of energy out of the fans, and is a devastating blow for not just the Fever and the WNBA. But the good news is her career is not over. But it's a tough blow when it all comes crashing down like that. And, ever since Stephanie...
Pro sports doesn't care how many jerseys you've sold or how many fans have your name on their walls. What matters is if you can keep playing. And right now, Caitlin Clark isn't on the court. She's at press conferences, reading statements that sound more like damage control. Her message is clear. Asterisk, I'll come back stronger. Please don't forget me while I disappear into rehab. Asterisk.
Now, I don't know who asked the question. The young lady, shout out to you. She said, hey, are you guys gonna make an announcement? Like that, I appreciate you at least. You didn't say it as blunt as I would have, but you said it. You asked the question. Hey, because now she's saying, yeah, the plan on this West Coast trip was to evaluate. How you gonna evaluate her if she never had contact? What's the evaluation? She's been able to shoot jump shots. She's been able to run up and down the court by herself with nobody touching her. What was there to evaluate? Now you're pushing it through the weekend, leading us on, having us dangling in the...
The trolls are everywhere now. People who couldn't even spell her name a year ago are suddenly acting like doctors, predicting she'll never play again. They're already calling her the Greg Oden of women's basketball before she's even earned her second paycheck. That's the internet for you. If you're not performing, you become entertainment in a different way. Some athletes bounce back strong. Others break and never recover. And no one knows which side Caitlin Clark will fall on. Will she be the reminder that hype doesn't always last?
There you have it, folks. My hot take from earlier this year, all of a sudden, not so hot. Caitlin Clark announced that she's going to be out for the rest of the season. Obviously, a nice little post here thanking her teammates, saying she fought back, was in the gym trying to come back. She wanted to, but Caitlin Clark not returning for the rest of the season. It makes sense considering where the Fever are at in the playoffs right now. Right now, they are making the playoffs. They're the 8th seed, so it would be the final seed there. But are they going to make much noise? Chloe Bibby just went out for the rest of the season. She was one of the
way things changed feels almost cruel. Not long ago, she was dominating defenses, scoring with ease, and smiling through post-game interviews like basketball came naturally to her. Now, every injury update feels like a soap opera. Will she return? Will she be the same player? Fans aren't watching highlights anymore. They're breaking down medical reports because it's easier than facing the truth. Maybe they've already seen her peak. The reality is, not every career ends with a farewell tour and standing ovations. Some just stop.
Is out for the rest of the WNBA season. She had posted this whole statement on Instagram as well as the Fever officially announcing it just now here on this Thursday evening. And there have been some talks about from the Fever staff about her potentially trying to come back, and they had kind of been trying to drag this out as much as possible over the course of this season, but there simply seems to just not be enough time in this season for them to fully feel comfortable in getting her healthy. And the message that has been sent has always been the most important thing is her long-term health. That is what the Indiana Fever...
For every athlete who makes a big comeback, there are many more who fade into trivia. The media isn't helping either. They're already publishing stories asking if Clark was overrated, just hype, or proof that women's basketball can't handle a superstar like the men's game can. It's tiring, but that's how the cycle goes.
Finally had the balls to ask somebody, hey, are you guys going to make an announcement? You said you're having a meeting. You had your evaluation on the West Coast trip. Now you're going to have a meeting. Are you guys going to let the fans know what the hell is going on? Because y'all keep collecting ticket money. Y'all keep promoting that she's going to be at this arena and that arena. Y'all keep saying that she's day to day. First, we heard she might be back for the Minnesota Lynx the first time we played them a week ago. She wasn't even ready for that. A miraculous ankle injury popped up.
Injured isn't just about recovery. You become a symbol, a storyline that plays well on TV. Now, Caitlin Clark's knee isn't just an injury. It's the center of a bigger debate about the future of the game. And here's the hard truth. She only had one full season before everything collapsed. One magical run, one highlight reel, 1 year as the chosen one. If that's her whole career, what does it really mean? Was it true greatness, or just a brief spark that looked like destiny? Sports history rarely remembers short stories. It celebrates long legends. So the questions linger. Can she ever return to her old self? Will this injury leave her a shadow of her former greatness? Or could this be the end of Caitlin Clark before it even truly began? Fans can't stop asking because the answers are still unclear.
The next morning after it was announced that Caitlin Clark would not be returning this season, something that I think most of us pretty much knew for maybe at least the last couple of weeks. I heavily suspected it for the last, if I'm being real, last month. Although I kept kind of holding out hope because, well, I wanted a reason to keep watching these games. And that's why the Indiana Fever has gotten dogged at as...
Here's the cruel twist. If Caitlin Clark never comes back, her legend might actually grow. Think about it. Athletes who burn out early often become myths. We remember what they could have been, not what they actually were. Clark could become basketball's ultimate, lost potential story, remembered forever as the unstoppable force who never got her sequel. In a strange way, that might even make her bigger than if she played 10 more seasons and was just very good. It's twisted, but sports fans love tragedies as much as they love triumphs.
Disappointment to a lot of people. She will not play for the rest of the season. Now, what does this mean for her? Rest. Big time rest. Get healthy. That's the number one thing. When you miss a full season, it's tough to come back and not be rusty. So I think a lot of the offseason is going to be spent rehabbing her legs, getting stronger, and just working towards getting back to 2026 so that she can be healthy and take on the full season.
The trolls are everywhere. People who couldn't even spell her name a year ago now act like doctors, predicting she'll never dribble again. Some are already calling her the Greg Oden of women's basketball before she's even cashed her second paycheck. It's harsh, but that's the internet. If you're not playing, you become entertainment in a different way. Some athletes bounce back like rubber bands, others snap like stale cookies. No one really knows which way Caitlin Clark will go. Will she be remembered as proof that hype doesn't always last? What makes it feel even more cruel is how fast things changed.